Love and light collective. Much love and light to you. All right. So tonight we got to pick a pile, and I might be talking a little bit lower. I want to be mindful not to have the background track up too loudly. Your girl is showing up and showing out, okay? But at the same time, I'm just feeling some pressure in my head. So, um, it's that time of year. I get it, but also think there's a little something more to it. Um, Let me know how you guys have been feeling ascension wise, right? Yikes. Okay. It's nice to just take a moment. I feel like I've been going all day. And I almost didn't come on, but I thought, no, I better not sit on these messages too long, because I don't like to make a habit of doing that. I don't like to hold on to energy. I rather just, it's giving catch and release. Maybe somebody here fishes. Maybe I'm already tapping in to collective energies here. We do have 3 piles tonight, or this morning, I should more aptly state, right? Um, and we also have a general collective message, okay? Something really short and sweet, I promise. But before I get to that, and so there is, to be clear, something for everyone during this session, right? During this particular live stream. But regarding specifically the pickup pile, love and light NSF, love and light, babe. The first icon here, okay, might not surprise you after seeing this, that we are talking about matters of the heart, right? Love, if you will. And I have to say it that way because not all aspects of what is perhaps connecting to your current heart space energies was or is love. Okay. So we have to talk about that. And pile number 2 could be some significance to Archangel Metatron. All right. And or could be some significance to the metaphysical rock, right? I want to say crystal, but it's more like meteorite, right? Painite, connecting to Archangel Metatron, is said to connect to um, energies that would connect to Archangel Metatron's tears, as it were. So maybe there is some significance to you know tears. Actually, for pile number 2, this definitely makes sense. We're talking about somebody from the other side, really just trying to urgently get a message to you. I'm being asked to clarify because pile number 2, energy, right? Me trying to explain the inexplicable. There is a chance here that I could be speaking about somebody for pile number 2 when we get there. Just a heads up that maybe is about to pass. Okay, not trying to be word cursy or doom and gloomy, right? This could also be somebody that maybe maybe they've been diagnosed with like aspects of dementia, things like that. Sometimes often distorted individuals in certain cognitive manners and ways really do have a tethering to the spirit realm. It's almost like they, in reality, in the earth plane realm, as it were, right? Though they're in it, they're more connected to what's beyond the veil, and so therein is that distortion. So I offer that just for clarity because I was asked to. Not everything is all black and white, especially with reading energy. And yeah, my bad on that one. Love and light, Fiona. Love and light, bitter coffee, 3 bean. Welcome in, you guys. So we have a pick a pile for those that missed it, perhaps, right? Pile number 1's icon here is this cutie little Valentine's Day cookie toy, right? And so, of course, we could be, obviously, we will be talking about love, matters of the heart there, connecting to that particular mixed bag message. It's one pile to the next tonight, you guys, not the same, okay? And, the messages are overall pretty short, sweet, and concise, so I'm excited to get to them and just let you guys have at the meat of each message. But again, they're not the same. Pile number two, again, connecting to someone's family member, relative, loved one who is either about to pass, back over into the spirit realm, more holy, right? Or or someone perhaps, because still general collective message for pile number two, somebody that maybe has passed. And my condolences if that does resonate. We'll get to that. An archangel Metatron may be an archangel of some significance, as well as the meteorite painite, okay, the crystal. Last but certainly not least, okay, pawn number three could be some significance to the plague doctor, right? Aesthetic, goth, steampunk, even if you will, or even just history. Maybe you're a history buff. Um, and we are really going to talk about some aspects of self sabotage, perhaps, in your um mindset, and or perception about basically the way that you perceive yourself there. Okay. And so mixed bag, like I said, you guys, from one pal tonight, definitely not the same theme. I can't really even tell from my glancing at the cards that oh, well, pal number such and such resonates, the other, no, it's really different tonight, and I kind of like it. Like I said, tonight's messages should be pretty short and sweet. I of asking what I should be doing, because I was like, I was gonna just jump right into pile number one. Let me just ask. Nope, we're gonna do it. All right, so pile number one. All right, you guys, just give me 5 minutes of that, okay? And I will ring the bell for those in the meantime that maybe are saying, hey, how do we get the free tarot message? And you don't yet know the live stream rules, please check the box, all right, the description box below this video and any video you'll find on my channel or anywhere else, really. But particularly this channel, for the instructions on how to get your free tarot. And when the bell rings, you'll know what to do. All right. So nobody's going to be wasting any time. Okay. Yes. Love that. Ain't nobody got time to waste. All right. But we do have to enjoy the process of this. And I really already opened the channel for those that maybe aren't aware. And so I really hope you do get something out of this. There is something to get out of it for everyone. And now I'm being reminded, hey, before you just hop on into the cookie pile, right? Maybe somebody's hungry. It can't be just me, get it? Um, I do have something for everyone. See, no person left behind, I promise, okay? Your spiritual guidance team, real quick, just wants everyone connecting to this channel, okay, especially if you are officially a subscriber here, for our high vibe tribe, okay, at Love and Light 2 Tarot. You are not alone, okay? You are facing whatever you're facing, good, bad, ugly, all right? Doesn't really much matter, all right? The sentiment here is you're not doing it alone. You're not facing it alone, okay? And what that also means is you're not fearing alone, for those that are grappling with perhaps aspects of fear, because your spiritual guidance team is saying, hey, we see you, we know, we hear you, and we saw the tears, right? And so sometimes you get messages like this, not just to simply and solely feel like, oh crap, yeah, I've been outed for the gabillionth time, but just to give confirmation, maybe, dare I say, validation from your spiritual guidance team, like, hey, we're right there, right? And it's nice to have that friendly reminder every now and again, right? So I thought that card was pretty sweet. It says, for those that weren't aware, quote, we face it together. And this is really coming directly from your spiritual guidance team on a general collective uh you know um sentiment, right? We're all connected, connecting back to source. So it makes sense that we can all take a piece of this pie, proverbially. I'm just hungry. Is that what's going on? We went from cookies to pie in seconds flat. Oh my. Oh, thank you so much, Fiona. Um, we are all collectively being asked to continue to proceed forward. This is almost like giving the sentiment of like, do you ever see like, uh, man, I don't know if Guardians of the Galaxy makes sense or not, but Because I'm like searching and I cannot get like one particular scene in mind. I'm even checking Fifth Element, but do you ever see like something where it's like in a movie, usually it's like, I'm trying to think, how do I want to describe this? There was a show not super recently, but the sentiment was kind of like Hunger Games vibes, where it was like only certain people that were of the certain elitist type were able to essentially like recolonize on another planet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Poor people were left behind, et cetera, et cetera. And anytime that like their like aircrafts would open up, there was just like this ominous like land of unknown and difficulties, and just the unknown was the difficulty, and a lot of like energy of like burden, comes to mind, and it's almost like, I'm picturing, the collective energy just standing in the midst of the mist and almost being, feeling like, you might feel if you were in one of those planes, even intentionally to, drop out with a parachute. Seconds before you're second guessing that. I don't care who you are, right? Like I've never done it. It's on my bucket list, but I'm just saying, like, imagine, like, you don't even have to imagine too hard. Anyone who even said, yes, I sign up. Yes, I sign, this waiver. I'm ready. I do these types of things 2 seconds before they drop. It's like, is this the last time? Right? Something comes to mind, I'm sure, right? And the divine really want you to know, like, just proceed forward. Like, you are fine. Do not get tripped up on the smoke and mirrors, right? And there's a lot out there. And, you really do need to take time to go back to center and meditate. It's got to be about you right now first. And, like, a lot, like, often. And by you, I mean the real you, not your title, right? Not your family lineage, okay? Not what you do for business. And for those that are still grappling with loneliness, okay, I get it, no judgment, only love and light. I wouldn't even want the karma. And please know I understand, okay? Your divine guidance, excuse me, is coming through saying it's just a normal part of life sometimes, okay? Please don't beat yourself up just because you have feelings. You're not the only one. And just because you have feelings does not mean that they have to rule you, ruin your life, ruin your day, right? But I can most assuredly tell you that if you never felt them and if you always stifled them down, tampered them down, avoided and ignored, then they most assuredly would ruin ultimately your days, ultimately your life, So it's best to feel through it, ask for help, ask for guidance and clarity, right? Sometimes, you just wake up and it's like, oh, this is not the vibe. Like, what is this? Ask your angels for help. Like, listen, I am feeling a sort of fill in the blank way. It is not the desired or intended way. Please and thank you. Assist me with this. Thank you. Within moments, right? A load could be lightened just like that. But if you don't ask, you would know how good it gets, right? Right now, you're supposed to know how good it gets without knowing everything else. Tricky. Yeah. It just requires you to listen to what the message was saying in the first place, which is just continue to proceed forward, right? Some of y'all are being, really, if I do say so myself, too hard on yourself. It's like, well, you made it to new earth energy. You didn't even die unless it was dying unto self willingly, right? Purposefully, intentionally, as you were called to do, right? Understanding the aspect of duality, the goal really is to learn how to implement all aspects of self, dark, light, masculine, feminine, and really operate out of the strengths and utilizing those strengths to lessen the amount of weaknesses in a lot of ways as well. And really, if you want to really dumb all that down, collective, you would just say it like you learn to really start to love yourself. You learn to really start to protect yourself and care for yourself so much that you checked yourself on, am I actually caring? Is this actually me? Do I actually enjoy being around these people, places, things? Am I actually being called over here, right? Learning to come back unto self, unto source energy, ultimately, of course, right? But really honoring the journey. In honoring the journey, you do get to honor the fact that, like, you're pretty much a badass in the most glorious and sovereign sense of, that phrase saying. It's the truth, okay? Um, Let go of your inner thoughts is also coming out here on this card. So, pretty self explanatory, but again, it's giving rinse, lather, and repeat type of method here. You can't get mad that some of this stuff, like choosing different thoughts and being, maybe less available, is a choice that, maybe you get to make only once. You can't be mad that it's not standard protocol and procedure to just have to make the choice one time. Could you imagine if we could just immediately, like, make, let's see, if every time I lifted my arm up like this without even a dumbbell, just every time, I gained 3.4 ounces of muscle in my biceps. And it's like, oh, that'd be great, man. Like, you wouldn't even have to go to the gym. Would it be great though? Could you even ever make it many places? Because you know how many times a day, if you have an arm, and I don't say that lightly. I'm mindful maybe somebody doesn't. Okay. Just in all seriousness. All right. Plug something else in there. You got another part. Okay. You can plug it, I'm sure. Every time, 3.4 ounces. All right. So in the bathroom, when you gotta, even with the bidet, there's still some reaching, and you gotta get dressed, and 3.4 ounces of muscle. I don't know if by the end of any one given day, I personally, on a personal note, right, um, as non-athletic of a build as I currently have, right, I don't think I'd be able to pick my arm up off the ground for a different reason, because I would have a pretty heavy ass load of bulky muscle to the point where it would just not function, right? So you see how it is really just smart, if you will, to learn to enjoy the process, to learn to stop expecting to go from zero to hero about every little thing, right? You miss stuff when you go too fast. You're driving 89 miles an hour. You're not going to see what you would drive at, what you could see driving at 14 miles an hour. You know, how many red tulips were there on the end of that park bench? Oh, the park. I didn't even see the park at 89 miles an hour. Yeah, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? Um, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, but the general sentiment is keep going. And why would that be, collective? Because you're doing a bang up job. Because you are capable and you are amazing. All right. Because you are in alignment. All right. Because you are sovereign. So please don't be that one to forget. All right. So starting with pile number one, really quick. Here's the sitch again, the cookie, right? Somebody here could have legal issues currently or have had in the recent past, okay? And the general sentiment here is not all men need a podcast. This is really giving, if I'm dumbing it down just for time's sake, not because I'm coming at you, and you don't need to doubt yourself if this is your pile. All right, but you do need to listen up and take heed, and hopefully, please, I implore you, implement the advice that's going to come your way. All right. The bitter Bettiness, whether your name is Betty and you taste bitter or not, has to go. Okay, because you're holding yourself back, and not even just you, you're holding back a pretty significant soulmate. All right. We are going to pull from the names deck and as well as the initials deck. Okay, I did pull out the names deck that we use sometimes for the channel for this one. Okay, just to see what all we could catch. All right. But I get there is some significance to that word catch. There could definitely be some significance to fishing. Gosh, I just feel like I might as well be sitting at a lake on a bench with the tulips. Is that it, right? Maybe there is some significance to a park bench, a park with a lake, tulips. Okay. Um, Long story short, I do see that you got hurt. Okay. Uh huh. Happens to the best of us. It's probably happened literally to all of us. And I know you don't want to hear that, okay? But what I don't want to have to hear me say is that you didn't allow for this person to come in that's actually going to love you, and actually going to match your vibe, your freak, and all of that, okay? The stuff you deserve, okay, to ruminate over, and none of it is pretty much anything that's already occurred. So if you're stuck in the past, I need you to know that from this point forward, you can make a choice to basically turn things around, and it's really just talking about perception at this point. Okay. And hey, as hard or as easy as you want to make changing your perception, okay, is up to you. And what I mean by that is, okay, let's be honest. I'll out myself again, okay? Sometimes, okay, you might have an experience where it's like, oh my gosh, to change my freaking perception. I'm trying, right? But when you kind of like compare and contrast that to, well, is it perhaps potentially easier to change your perception versus changing your location, changing your employee? Hmm. Right? And so you've got to do a little bit of rooting around. You can't be so emotional and go zero to hero. You can't be so quick to give up in your even thinking, your thought pattern, and trying to figure out that loophole on how to not give up, right? On how to continue to trust, to continue to move forward, right? On how to love again. Mm. We've all been there, but I get that I am most likely speaking to, for a large majority of the collective members resonating with this particular number one of the um, female variety, feminine apparent variety, or those just really tapped into that feminine energy. Okay, the one that wants to be soft, the one that wants to receive but freely give. Okay. And you get that by freely giving to yourself to the point where you can receive that. Okay. So, friendly reminder, and I know a lot of you go, I know, right? And you are doing work. But what of it if you're going to do it impatiently? And what I mean by that is impatience brings with its own essence, vibration, frequency, if you will, and it usually fucks things up. It's not really you know a catalyst that's healthy. And what I mean by that is you know um my mom, when she was still living, um she decided that she was going to impatiently move, I believe it was a computer desk at the time, over some carpet that had been stretched and was rolled up. And so there was need to kind of like stop, lift up, and get over that hump kind of thing. And she decided that she was going to choose impatience and just kind of like ram through it, over that bit of carpet, and ultimately broke her toe. And so it's like, okay, did she get the desk over the hump faster? Yes. But did she break a toe and sacrifice and then have to take time out and then really implement a lot of extra self-care into a situation that shouldn't have normally required that level of self-care because you were just moving a desk kind of thing? Right. So just saying, okay, you really do want to watch the mental space as well as the heart space, and you got to continue to heal, babe. The good news is, right? The divine's not sitting here saying, "Hey, you got to heal 1,010%. You got to heal 100% before anybody can come in." That's not it. It's just your current condition, your current heart space, energy, mental space, thought patterning is getting in the way, babe. Right? And it's just a message of like, okay, redirection. Okay, you got this. It's not a message of like, wow, too bad to be you because, you just almost had it all, but you just never will. Like, no, that's nobody's saying that. Okay, nobody said that. Love and light, Jeannie Moon. Love and light, Jay. Um, Now let me see here 1 second. Yeah, here's the sitch. You're not even trusting the amount of work that you have done is like enough of a prerequisite in order to have what you want out of life and love. And that too is a blockage. It's a mental space blockage. See how things can get a little bit hairy and be like a freaking onion with layer after layer sometimes when we are having our um, healing time, our healing space. Okay. And I see that you have been intending to do this. You have been doing this. And I still can't get around this level of impatience. All right. You give yourself grace. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm sure somebody, at least most of you, have somewhere, um, regardless of the country, have heard something to that effect. Okay. And so you just can't expect you to be the only one that got it right every time. You just can't expect you to be the only one that, never missed the mark, right? And even if you were, you want to talk about lonely then, you wouldn't really resonate with anyone and they wouldn't be able to resonate with you, right? If you never had a similar experience to somebody else because you're so perfect, just so isolated, living yourself, living with yourself on your own journey, separate and apart from everything. Like, nobody signed up for that, and there's really no way to do it anyway. Okay? If you're hearing this message, just saying. Okay? So, all right, friendly reminder, slow and steady is progress as well, especially with healing. Okay. Now, this is not free licensure for anyone to take that and run with it and say in the toxic manner or in the toxic sense, yeah, I could just totally give up on healing and I could just never really continue to do my shadow work. No, it's not a licensure for that, but it's definitely a permission slip to give yourself grace. Okay. Again, even when you want to look to issues that perhaps you'd like to clean up about yourself, your mental, your physical, your house, even comes to mind. It's not necessarily a snap of the fingers type of process, right? So please give yourself grace. All right. um let's see here. I get that the issue of significance, most notably, is that you've had either a particular karmic partner or a string of them that have really, taught you some things. We'll say it that way in the most positive light, because even when you want to talk about it in a most negative light, they're still teaching you and you're still learning, right? So there's that. But again, there's this. Um, channeling coming through, and it's really giving not this time, not this one, not this guy I'm hearing. Um, so this could be a situation where it is, let me see here, one second. There could have been wounds, right? Possibilities are endless. I get it. But somebody here, maybe you had your mate stolen from you by somebody that you trusted. And maybe this person, this soulmate that has come along, however long or or not ago, or when this person comes in, okay, because still general collective message, right? um this person may like have similarities or favor aesthetically even, or have like similar interests, the way that that now ex of yours better be an exit, because what do you mean? Don't hold on to the crappy teddy bear, okay? That's you. Um, but yeah, this person is not that person though. You know what I mean? So it's like don't be in them streets trying to make people pay for what others have done to you, kind of thing. All right, so continue to heal, give yourselves grace, and know that you can trust your judgment in this. I mean, you have been healing family issues, you have been doing the shadow work. Okay, Spirit saying, please trust, let go of control issues, and stay optimistic about your love life. This is your soulmate that you have been attracting in. And again, friendly reminder about attraction. You don't want to put the kibosh on it by saying no, no, wait, no, I no longer believe. no, no, wait, I'm, you know, I'm so scared that I'm no longer going to proceed forward. I'm not going to even enjoy the experience of the journey that this person and I are now on, kind of thing. And by this person, again, talking about the soulmate coming your way if they're not yet there. All right. And they're going to have the love language of gift giving. All right. So get ready to receive. So the bell has rung. All right. And what I'm going to do, since we have completed pile one, I'm going to consult the decks while we wait to see who we have in the queue for World of Free Tarot. Thank you so much, Fiona, for your assistance on that, babe. Are you okay? Like, are you okay? I said Fiona's on it, bro. Don't mess with Fiona. Everybody, be nice to Fiona and the rest of our crew, and obviously our moderators are highlighted in blue. If you should have need of assistance, okay. Let's keep it civil. All right. Woo! Yikes. All right. Let's see what else. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you. There could be some significance to pennies. I'm hearing to say. By pennies I mean the coin, not the store. But now that I'm talking about both, I don't know. Could be both. Um. So I didn't have too many. Let's see. We have GHI. TOP at the bottom of the deck. All right, so that could be first name, middle name, or last name and initial on the part of this soulmate coming your way. Okay, but I'm not unmindful, you guys. Energy was all over the place, so it could be, you know, the karmic's initials or yours, right? Um, so love and light, Aaron. Okay, let me see. And Jason is staring at me. Ruby or rubies. Okay, so we went from pennies to rubies. That's interesting. Connor. I'm hearing the name Reggie. Quinta. Willow. Jeremy or Jeremiah also came out as I opened the channel. Jordan. Bonnie. Taylor. Max. Adam. Some significance to Ruby. That came out again. Let's see. Lucy. Alfred. Chase. AJ. Okay. All right. So that's what we have for pile number one. And thank you guys for checking out the message. I hope you guys got something out of it so far. Um, let's see about NSF's question here. Oh, yeah. This is... So this is a yes. This is success. Okay, this is happiness, wish fulfillment, contentment. All right. And what do I want to say about this? This is definitely talking about like revitalization and satiety, right? Really being fulfilled on the other side of that journey, that agenda, that timeline. All right. So that's for NSF. Much love and light, babe. Okay, now let me see. World changer, yes. Okay. In it, not of it, right? Love and light, Annie. All right, did I miss? Okay, let me see. I think said no. I want a cookie. I know, that's funny. You're very welcome. Okay, so we'll just go right into pile number two, you guys. This one is so short. Okay, this is the shortest out of the three, so I'm just gonna go ahead into it because I'm not exactly sure if I'm lagged or if everyone's sleeping, or you know, whatever. We all got stuff going on. I'm not mindful of that. But your girl wants to go relax sooner rather than later, so I'm just gonna keep this moving definitely put your question in the box if you've got that. Okay. If you haven't already done so for the free tarot, if it's your pleasure to do so. Okay. I'm not strong arming anybody. So pile number 2 again, connecting to Archangel Metatron, perhaps here with this Painite icon. All right. And I'm getting that this person is a female. Okay, now for some of you, this person, you know them to be like infirmed in in some way. Maybe some of you, you know, like it's giving grandmother vibes, right? It's like grandma's at the home, you know, not her home, but the home kind of thing. And so or you could have recently or will be hearing recently about some form of blood work coming back for this particular individual. And this is somebody that you know, you were either wanting to or wondering about, should you or would you call this individual or reconnect with this individual. Okay, this is somebody that, you know how life be life in, and so like if somebody's not under your roof, you know, maybe you don't really see them from month to month. Okay, it's that I'm not necessarily saying that this is somebody, you know, a feminine energy that you are estranged with. This could be okay, and again, if that's the case, it could even just be because connecting back to like perhaps this person's cognitive dysfunction, if they are still on this side of the veil kind of thing, right? If they are still you know, on the earth walking with us. All right, now for the same pile though, okay, and this, you know, whether it's your grandma or not, this is also connecting to energies on the other side. All right, and we will also consult the names and the you know, letters deck at the end, just to try to hone in on who all may be connecting to this pile's energy, and who the message is from or perhaps for. Okay, and I do have a message for you. Before I get into that, there could be some significance to the beach, as well as a pearl necklace, or maybe oh my gosh, I'm not even like joking, I cannot think, what's the pearl birthstone? What month is that? So maybe connecting to somebody's birth month. I cannot think. Oh my gosh. But this person could have had recent test results. I did go over that part. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. So for those that you know you still can call, like physically, um, it would be this person's desire that you would, if you wondered. Okay. And for those that you understand this person to be on the other side of the veil, kind of same deal. It's like, hey, could you talk to me? Like, could you like address me, and like, could we like get some points across? You know, not in like a confrontational manner, but just like a. I just feel like a lot of people like don't realize necessarily that you. I mean, you still have means of communication. I mean, they make movies about you know, almost all the ways to communicate, you know. I mean, even think of like Dr. Doolittle comes to mind. It's like, ain't no way like that, just oh, it was just that fictitious character that could really understand that the monkey was saying like, hey, probably not a good idea about like this, you know, or whatever, right? People talk to animals all the time. Okay, I didn't say everyone talks to animals all the time, but the possibility is there. And so there's like the sentiment of like, you know, this card says the phone works both ways, grandma, how about a call? Right? The phone works both ways. It's almost giving like it takes two to tango. All right, and this person saying you can talk to them, whether they are on the other side or not, whether they would just, you know, it would just require a phone call being placed or not. Yes, you can do it. All right. Again, it would be their preference that you would connect, whether through the phone or otherwise, right? For those that know that, you know, this person's passed on. And, you know, their guidance here is look forward, not back. Okay. And they want you to know they believe in you and that they know you're going places. For some of you, they really for real, for real, for real, for real know, because again, some of you, these people are on the other side. They know, right? When you get on the other side, you get a lot more clarity than what we're ferreting around through, even in this current new earth type of energy, right? The dust isn't yet settled, of course, right? We were just talking about mist with pile number one, weren't we? Or no, that was the general collective message. So yeah, that's the vibe. Um, so yeah, with this make it energy, I just get make it happen. They really do. I mean, for some of you, I'm just getting that they have something that they want to impart into you. Whether this could be like for those that it resonates for, some aspect of wisdom. Others, it could be that they want to bequeath something to you before they would pass. If that resonates, okay. Take only what resonates here. This is, whew, talk about a mixed bag. My goodness. And so for those that also resonate on top of it, with maybe being busy building, creating, you're intending to leave legacy. These people want you to know, like, you have permission to give it all you got, because the success is already there. You are going places. Okay, watch that glass half full mentality. Okay, so that kind of connects back to pile number one, perhaps. Now I'm just seeing that maybe this ties in. And hold your head up. Okay, I get for some of you that you and this person, it's almost like you would have moved away from them, even intentionally, if it came to it, and maybe for some of you it did, because of belief systems. This could be connecting to religious versus spiritual. Doesn't have to be. You talk to animals. That's cool. Me too. They talk back. um they don't always understand them. It's not, some I resonate with more than others. It's interestingly enough kind of like tarot decks. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, that is speaking to me. And then other ones I go, huh? And it's so funny because depending on the name, like I'm like disappointed. I'm like, I just knew it was gonna be, like we was just gonna have a time. And it's like you can't fake the funk though. Like either there is that resonance there or not. And so again, take only what resonates with these piles as well, collective. Okay, now again, connecting back to that beach energy though, with grandma or whoever this is, all right, this elderly female energy. There could be also some significance to mermaids. Okay, maybe you guys really did see a mermaid together. Maybe this person knew that you really enjoy all things mermaid, which, gosh, I get it. Me too. And there could be some significance to the name Sam, but I'm really getting again this connecting to a female energy. So this could be short for Samantha. It doesn't have to be the case, you guys. Take what resonates there, for that pile. But that was pretty short and sweet. And I'll leave you with, lastly, you could be seeing eights, in synchronicity of confirmation of this message. Okay. So that's what I have for pile number two. All right. That was our pay night. Um, 11 Light Side Fantasy. And so pile number three, you guys, I'm just gonna keep it moving unless I see anybody in the box, in the queue for the for yes no. All right, don't mind me none. Okay, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out with your girl, and I hope you are getting something out of these messages. Speaking of number eight, okay, um, that is so weird because I really thought I had an eight for pile number three as well. Hold on one second. I'm looking down. I'm like, that's not an eight. That's an 11. Could be some significance to the initials C as well as E for this pile. Um, yeah, there's no 8 there. That's so funny. My apologies. And you know what? I forgot. You guys, I forgot about pile number two. Hold on, we gotta rewind. Hold on. Because I didn't do the names. All right, let me just see here. We did have Sam, but that was a different source I was guided to. So I never really actually consulted the deck. Something seemed off there. Like, hold on. All right. Um, I'm not sure if I heard Dory or Diori or Dora. Um, Inca is coming through for these names, and you guys, this could be your name, their name, somebody's dog's names. Okay, take what allows for you to, have the confirmation. Okay, and let the rest sit. I promise. Jared is coming through. Also heard ego. And maybe you thought that this person had a bit of an ego, and so you just thought, I'm just going to steer clear because I already know you're closed minded, kind of thing, right? Um, Eve, Tito, um, TT is also coming through. What I think that means aunt. Um, I guess that could be somebody's name too. I guess TT maybe. I'm not sure. We've got um I heard Tahara. I'm trying to say Tara. Tahara. Okay. Is that also jewelry, I believe? Um we've got Eberly. Could be somebody's last name. Everly. All right. Let's see what these initials. Yikes. Okay. I'm hearing Coco. Could be some significance, whether the name or the drink or a character. We've got Casey. We've got, oh, excuse me, that could be a name actually too. But I meant the initials K and C. All right. Um, we've got W. We've got O. We've got V. We've got I. I'm hearing Vivian. I'm hearing Julissa. Last but certainly not least, S for that pile. Okay, forgive me, collective, that slipped my mind. All right, so back on to pile number 3. Okay, have a great night, NSF. Love and light. All right. So, pile number 3, getting back to this Plague Doctor energy, could be some significance to the Plague Doctor, the character, maybe dressed that way for Halloween. Also, the reason why I say that is because you did, but also pile number 3, you may prefer Halloween over that of Christmas time, okay? With this Halloween is better than Christmas card energy here. You could also prefer Robert Pattinson, especially in the character of Batman, and you could think Olive Garden is underrated. Okay, current energy is giving. When you step on a Lego. So we're gonna talk because you can't stay there, and that can't stay stuck in your foot like that. Okay, even proverbially, not on my watch, collective. Just saying. Okay. So, pile number 3, you could definitely be a driver of sorts. The reason why I say that is because I do see in the cards the mention of DoorDash, as well as in another deck. And there was some significance to driving, being a driver of sorts. Okay. And you could spend a lot of time on your phone, particularly TikTok. You're being asked to delete that. Okay. And that could be for a few reasons. No judgment, only love and light. Just saying. And whoever's resonating with this pile, you need to know that, let me say this. Let me say this with love. Okay. Here's the sitch. This is not, even if you resonate with pile number 3, this is not everybody connecting to pile number 3, but this is somebody connecting to pile number 3. And the message for you, and you'll know if this is you, is you really want to reach out and call and text and touch somebody. We've all been there, and you're being guided not to do that. Because you got, I'm hearing bigger shit. I'm trying to say better, but you've got bigger stuff ahead. Okay. um and you know what, Disney World is not the happiest place on earth. I am just reading the card. There could be some significance to that, but the general sentiment is like, all that glitters ain't gold, right? um Even if you had this person with you for every photo op and yada yada, is that enough, right? Because that's like being delusional into thinking that a piece of paper is enough, right, for a commitment. Oh well, he signed his name. It's like, and he did that with that one. You know what I mean? Right after he did, things like that. Okay. So this life is what you're gonna make of it, right? And so you got to be mindful to do your part to make it beautiful, right? Some people tout phrases, catchphrases, and over time it's created such stigma. It's like, you know why try to make better change, right? um But really, that is really part and parcel of old timelines. Okay. We are actively co creating new earth energy. And keyword actively, which means there's still a lot of dust swirling around, right? Things are new, uncharted waters, still uncharted perhaps, etc. All right, as I look down after I'm talking about water, of course, it says coffee is overrated. There could be some significance to coffee for this one, as well as pineapples, as well as pizza. Maybe you put those together, it doesn't have to be the case. And maybe you prefer mountains over the beach. All right, I know we talked about the beach in pot number 2 as well. Interesting. I'm going to, because this one was a little bit different, I'm going to have to read these cards and then deliver the message. Okay, so bear with. They're really short cards. I just need to take a swig. And the following are actually quotes. Um, I will say at the end whose quote it is, just so that you're aware. Okay, and this is from the Crush Your Goals deck. I believe I got it Target one here. The first quote is from Greta Gerwig. Okay, so this is pile number 3. Listen up, because this is some advice. Okay, from some people that have been some places and done some things. Just saying. All right, so the first quote is, I'm not goal oriented so much as I'm constantly aware of what I'm passionate about, and I'm constantly updating the list. Okay, Greta Gerwig. The next quote is by Octavia Butler, Bloodchild. It's amazing what we can do if we simply refuse to give up. Pile number 3. Listen up. Okay, Tiffany Haddish. In failure, there can be success. By that, I mean you can learn what not to do. I find the funny in a lot of failures because I've had enough of them. But I'm resilient. My soul is very determined. All right. Peter Dinklage is this next quote. I waited a long time out in the world before I gave myself permission to fail. Please don't even bother asking. Don't bother telling the world you are ready. Show it. Do it. Jamila Jamil, please think of the things in your life that you are proud of, that fulfill you, that make you happy, and write them down somewhere. And look at that list every time you feel that you are failing. And the last quote here from this particular deck for this session is by Ray Dalio. Remember that great expectations create great capabilities. If you limit your goals to what you know you can achieve, you are setting the bar way too low. So you see how the overall theme, and this kind of pile number 3 really is connecting back, I get chills all over, to the overall collective message, right? That we got at the beginning before any of these piles. Really, it's kind of bringing it back home. Energetically, I can feel it. Um, and so, give yourself, again, grace, permission. You don't, like you guys are talking, there's no success without failure. And how would you know it otherwise? And sometimes in this thing called life, you really have to ask weird questions like, how would you know until you know? Because how would you, right? So take some of this pressure off. Okay, you're doing a lot, and I get that, and I'm so proud of you, you guys. I mean, you really are just so amazing and humble, and just so stealth mode at the same time. Just like I want to call you titans. It's just it's giving you're a problem, like in a great way. you know and what I mean by that is like you're unfuckwittable. You are, if you remain desirous, okay, unshakable. You just got to keep your believability about your capability, which connects back to sovereignty, source code, hello, right? You guys are really on top. Okay, I get it. Patience, and dust swirling about, and so many other things, people, places, right? But be mindful what you're consenting to. Be mindful the way that you give your consent as well, because how would you know until you think about it, realize, tap in. Oh, I, oh, okay. So when so and so approaches me at work, and I just, oh man, I just want to get away from that energy. I actually could just have a boundary. I'm actually going to work now at my desk. Thank you. Have a great day. And walk away. I don't have to stay here waiting for them to finish their coffee before they'll let me go, kind of thing, right? You start taking charge of your own path. And it might seem like, in small steps, maybe ways not noticeable to many. But I tell you what, collective, they add up every time, and they add up plenty, and they help, and they do not hurt you. But over time, if you should, continue to, you know, allow for other people, places, and things to set the tone of your reality, man, you could be in for a ride you didn't really sign up for. Maybe you're not supposed to be on. That's why we have these little reminders, okay? These friendly talks, okay? So, I feel like really pound number three was just the icing on the cake that we started baking at the beginning of the session here. You guys are really being asked to tap in, slow down, all right? Feel, breathe, self soothe, self regulate, okay? Nervous system regeneration. Speak life over your body, over all aspects of it. Be grateful for your body. Be grateful for all aspects. And I know, listen, I don't know if I'm like entering a migraine stage or what right now. I'm still very much grateful for my body. The way that I had no idea so many times, like, how would it go on? And it just knew, right? And it just stayed with me in so many ways, right? I am grateful for my body, and I hope you too can share in that sentiment. I hope you too take the time to think about your body that way, right? Instead of just the ways that it's, perhaps, not, functioning in a way that you'd like to write home about. That could be to get your freaking attention, you know? Learn, grow, be free. You are. Okay. Just continue on. Yeah, look, and I look down and it says be brave and free. Be brave and free, right? And I want to talk to you about this. Very I have no idea. I really don't recall an incident with this, but here goes me outing myself. Look at this collective. You see this chunk of cards? And they are hella stuck together, okay? But this top card, all right, really is falling in line with the message, this be brave and free, right? On the other side, the next card indicates to struggle. This is the time to climb. The card after it, do what you want to do, pile number three. The card after it, career is on the rise. Consider, question, comprehends comprehensively, is the last card. All right. So really kind of driving the point home that, you are capable. You are already very much an active participant in this journey, this thing called life. All right. Whatever you are setting out to do, there is a measure of success in it for you, in spite of any measure of failure, right? Choose which one you will focus and magnify. Okay. Because really the choice is yours. And for those wondering if love will ever come for you, pile number three, the divine want you to get into a better perception, okay? Because when you sit there and you go, I wonder, will they ever, do I have, you're operating out of lack, because that whole time, even if you take you off the table and your emotions off the table, let's talk about a character called Ronaldo, right? It's giving, see Ronaldo. Like, I wish I had like a book and like an illustration, but you know, if Ronaldo wants to look to the left of him and see a picture that is very dark and scary, and almost starts to upset his stomach when he looks at it. He can. Is it a great time? Probably not if it's upsetting his stomach. I mean, I don't like to feel nauseous. I don't know about anyone else here, but just saying, right? And Ronaldo, in this, generic, sterile example, okay, can also apparently look to his right and find just within reach a beautiful piece of artwork that seems to self regulate his nervous system, makes him feel the feels and feel all loved and supported, even if no one's around. And the crazy thing is, Ronaldo, maybe he doesn't realize, but all he has to do is choose which direction. The same amount of effort is required to look anywhere. Now, wouldn't that be really unfortunate if Ronaldo really didn't give himself chance long enough to see any other picture and just got caught up on that first image, that first, even piece of art that just really just keeps him at a nauseous level? What kind of life would Ronaldo live, right? He'd be all sick and stuff. Would he lead a long, happy life? Probably not, right? Okay, so you get where I'm going with that. Just saying. Love will come isn't even a good enough affirmation for you, collective, including those resonating with pound number three. And here's why. Okay. Um, and I'm reading this card, but I do not agree with it because it's not good enough. My collective is too great to be dealing with the not good enough section of even an oracle card, let alone life. Okay. And so what I mean by that is let's take lack all the way out of the equation and keep love in. All right. So you are love. All right. And you also have love. You have the love of your life. Please don't break your neck trying to find them if they're not right there in musculoskeletal form. I get it. Okay. But at the same time, stop placing yourself in lack, because when you try to break your neck to look outside of you, you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're going to wait longer, okay, to get to getting on where get to love outwardly and stuff on that other individual. Okay, it's the way it works. And it's a lot of spiritual laws and principles dumbed down, okay, just to get to the nitty gritty, so that you can get to the nitty gritty a lot more faster and way less impulsively. Whew, way less impulsively. Okay, so we're tuning our senses towards ourself firstly. What is going on? How do we feel? Is it good? Should we change it? Okay, and not can we change? Should we change it? Right? Because when you say can we, they're still in that lack section of the mentality realm. Okay, um, there's someone here, okay, maybe not a lot, connected to part number three. You are intending to chase, you are chasing, and you are chasing someone who is not good enough for you, long story short. And it's not about, somebody being better than anyone, but it's about being a good fit or not. And this person just cannot, is not coded to be, is not your person that way, okay? And that is coming through, as well as the caution, all right, that you don't want to be one of those cautionary tales. That's what I'm hearing to say. Um, this card is saying there is danger, proceed with caution. And, this is almost giving like when you see ravens, I know they're bats, but it's giving like, yeah, chills on that. Your ancestors have been giving you this message, giving it to you again, sliced it up, diced it up, sauteed it, and you're still not trying to chew on it, but there is some caution there. Okay, I hope somebody gets that. All right. And as far as love collective, all right, inclusive of pound number three, of course, right? Wrapping up the message. If you're ever finding yourself in the thought patterning that goes, will I have a chance at love? Do I have a chance? You already have that chance. Just remind yourself. And I need you to know it's okay if you can't find them, if you can't call them or text them, okay? If you don't know what color their hair is, all right? Um, but to willingly, now that we know better and are expected and should easily do better, okay? It's just there's no reason to create lack anymore. So please don't do that. Don't do that with love or anything, when you can help it. And I have to say it that way because, nobody's perfect, right? Sometimes you have moments, you have those questions, you have the, you know, maybe perhaps a shakeability in faith every now and again happens to the best of us, right? But, you know, stay in it to win it because you've already won, right? Could you imagine if, let's say, like you're at a sporting event, right? And you realize like, hey, your ticket number was pulled for whatever the raffle was, and they inform you like, yeah, you won, but it's like you got to get that at the end of, let's say it's a hockey game or something, right? It's like, yeah, you got to get that at the end of the hockey game. Could you imagine being that one that goes, hell to the no, I ain't wait till the end of the hockey game, knowing you bought the tickets, you were going to the game, that's why you were there, right? Like, make it make sense. And I know we want to sit there and chuckle and be like, oh, that's ridiculous. You know how many people are operating in that type of mentality, though? Uh, Place the hockey game with something else, right? But the mentality, okay, is giving lack, and it gets in the way. And your divine guidance is really just to walk away from that version of yourself, walk away from those old type of themed patterns, that maybe it's all you ever knew. I get that. Leave it alone, let it go. um, and really work on, and maybe this is an affirmation that you should add. Okay, the current state is safe. The current state is safe. Okay, if you want to say it even faster, all is well. All is well, and say it until you feel it. Okay, sometimes as a means of protective measure, you have to how do I want to say this? Mm, Okay, let me just give it because I'm speaking in code, free game though, right? Let's say you've got to wash your hands, right? And you know that there's three ways, okay, it could be more, that you wash your hands, okay? We'll call them soaps, right? So you know that there's three standard go-to soaps, but for whatever reason, in current energies, you're like, I only got time to wash my hands with this one soap, okay, and not necessarily rotate them all, right, or implement them all, okay. Over time you need to remember all of the stuff to implement and rotate every now and again for that extra added preventative measure, okay. um because just like we say different strokes for different folks and seasons change, there's different levels, different devils, all aspects of spiritual warfare, is really what we're talking about, that can be heightened or not, that can be full throttle or not, depending on the season, depending on the initiation, depending on the agenda, depending on the timeline, depending on the thought patterning that you are keeping yourselves under, okay, or consenting to be. Speaking in code. All right. So that's what I have for pile number 3 for the most part. All right, you got to come out of that Ten of Swords energy, right? Like, how is this high functioning? Like, I'm sorry, what were you doing? Like, what were you? Did you get out of bed today, sir? Like, okay. Um, long story short, pile number 3. I'm gonna wrap it up. On the other side of you, starting to really root for you and starting to really cheer you on and starting to really invest in you emotionally. Okay. I'm not just talking about, well, yeah, I got a clean cut and a shave this week. Yeah, it's an investment. And it is, honey. I get that, right? But I mean, you better be, you know how they say, like, well, you better stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Could you imagine if you were in a room filled with people? And this is a positive wake up call. This is the most positive love and light filled example I can give. Could you imagine if all of a sudden you woke up and you realized that you were standing in a room filled with people all around you, and they all loved and supported you and rooted you, and you didn't even know who you were because you didn't fuck with you. You didn't even know, right? It's like that kind of energy that you've been holding on to, and it's not your friend. I just get somebody that's all they know, that's all they, and it's almost like you almost want to say, but it helped keep me alive, like, or it helped make me successful, it helped me get out of the rut of failure and this. But sometimes what we know works can be implemented in greater measures. And when you are talking new earth energy, when you are talking new 2.0 plus 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 version of self, everything's got to be upgraded, makes sense, even what worked. Okay. And that's for somebody that's finding what worked ain't working no more. And that's why, babe. That's okay. You're all right. Okay, keep going. And as you do, you start actually like really feeling yourself more, and not in the toxic egoic, like, oh yeah, my ish don't blah 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 on Thursdays, and you know, I'm the best at blah, I don't even think that you've ever operated on that type of personality defect. You know what I mean? So don't worry about that now. Okay. Um, on the other side of, irregardless of whether who I'm speaking to and or reading for is a guy, girl, what have you, you're really being asked to utilize your strength, and allow for this change transition of perception of self to come in. All right. Get into that trans meditative type of state repeatedly enough. Take notes as you do, I'm hearing to say. And next thing you know, you're walking into your justice. You're walking into the new timeline where the offer of love comes in. There could be some significance to squirrels. Okay. Um, could be some significance to Sleeping Beauty. You could be seeing an individual, or the idea or understanding that an individual is approaching you in your dreams in a romantic way. All right. Um, yeah, there's some significance to the dream state, whether this is simply and solely meditative, right? And or, like we've already said. Okay. So again, this is connecting back to, those wondering, do we even have a chance at love? Um, this is a physical representation of how you've already got it, even though we may be talking about how it's coming to you. So leave the lack out of the situation, okay? Because otherwise you'll just be, stuck feeling asked out, stuck wondering, stuck in this distorted perception of reality, when the whole time you've got more than a chance. You've got love. You've got you, right? It's you first, though, not in the sense of selfishness, but in the sense of never again losing yourself in even the possibility of having a connection or a true relationship with somebody, right? But instead, bringing your true version of self, your higher self, in all its authenticity and love light, to an actual, genuine, real connection that you can identify as such because you love yourself properly and have taken the steps to implement towards better protection of self, right? To include, but not be limited to, walking away from impulsivity, all right? And that type of ideation and mentality, okay? Because, again, even with the Wheel of Fortune, could you imagine if it was spinning so fast? By the time you got off of it, you might feel like you were being punished. Whole time it was spinning for you, right? There is something to be appreciated about the journey and the process here. Okay, you're not here to just, I don't know if this is like residual energy from just having to run literally the rat race and not much else. So much more than that is coming for you. Okay, I really hope you're energetically and mentally making space for it. Okay, so that you can recognize it as it exists for you. I don't even want to say as it comes, because that's still kind of feeling like too much lack attached to that type of mentality. I guess we're all working on that, huh? Myself included, collective. All right. So that's what I have for you, collective. Thank you for those that did stick around. Thank you for those that will rewind and share the video. Tell a friend, tell your mama. Let's see here about the right places for sci fantasy. Okay. Well, what I'm seeing here, sci-fi, is initially this no card coming out with the um, double card. I'm trying to say double card. I almost said Capricorn energy, so there could be some significance to Capricorn chart placements. There is some holding on to behaviors, people, memories. You know, we talked a lot about success versus failure, and maybe that tied into your own resonance as well with your own energy. And the whole time, it's like there's something here where the divine is looking to usher in like a new, a better, a softer era for you. And you know, apparently you're still working with your spiritual guidance team to kind of smooth out the wrinkles in the perception slash understanding of that. So you're being asked to really have a sit with your spiritual guidance team. You know, maybe do some research. All right, maybe, you know, ask some of those questions, and you know, even if you have to Google them initially and get to some of those texts ultimately, that could also assist you with some of those answers, as well as again meditation. Okay, because you are somebody that does definitely have intuitive gifts, but at the same time, stress, anxiety, and racing thoughts definitely are not something that you find in the section of super clarity, right? But yet you do have the possibility to get a lot more clear on the other side of just going in, hermiting it out a bit. And I feel like you have been, but again, patience and perseverance comes to mind. Okay, they definitely want you to be in that hermit energy for such a time as this. Okay, and that's what I have for sci fantasy. All right, Fiona. Okay. All right. I feel like we're not going to go through the letters on that one, because that's. I feel like everyone could connect to that in some ways, shape, or forms. Okay. For pile number 3. Okay, but back to you, Fiona. So we do have a yes with the beautiful chariot energy. And, you know, you definitely, Fiona, when you have these encounters with your father, want to connect also to what you were thinking about, talking about. Okay, because your father's definitely connected to your thoughts, so it's not something that you have had. It's not something that you would have had to have definitely like spoken out. And sometimes that can be an indicator on, you know, why they're making their presence known. You know, why your father would make his presence known. Excuse me. But I cannot get around the energies of like choice, choosing, planning with this two of wands, decision making. Again, daddy's saying you're not okay, let me be fair. So I cut the deck to the following: the Fool card, the Hierophant. Your dad is not playing. I don't know who you're like looking to. I don't know if it's like somebody you're looking to be with, engage with, if you're looking to go somewhere, work somewhere. I get it's a person though, and I get it's a guy. Like walk away, like no. He keeps saying no, like no, like regarding that to one's decision planning. Literally your father, King of Swords. Oh, that's your birthstone, Ruby. Oh, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck was Pearl. Does anybody know? Did anybody say that? Because I just remembered that now. Love and Light, Alice in Wonderland. And nobody else knows either, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what was pearl. Pearl. We had pearls, rubies, pennies. But that's what I have, Fiona. Let me see here. Yeah, because your father doesn't want something to burden you more than you've already been burdened. So this could be. I'm getting it's. I think it's a masculine energy we've spoken about briefly before. This could also be just the choices in general that you're making. It's like, are you making more work for yourself? Because no. Daddy's like, no. Yeah, that's also it. He's saying this is also part of the communication. Like, he's like basically telling me, yes, communicate that. Yeah, because he doesn't want you like that. I mean, come on, Fiona. Do you? No, you don't. You know you don't deserve that. You don't deserve sleepless nights energy either. So, what choices can you start making now, right? Whether they be about thoughts, responses, responsibilities, boundaries, right? So that was a yes, he heard you, babe, because you know the chariot. Um, yeah, he just keeps saying no, 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 no. Like, oh my god, like, and you could be seeing fives in significance, or excuse me, I said insignificance, in synchronicity. Oh, it's like he doesn't want you making decisions that down the road would lead you to kind of like really be in a hole about some things. This could be financially, could be emotionally, spiritually. I mean, people, places, and things can drain. You know what I'm saying, Fiona? Okay. Um, but yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here and for all your hard work. I really appreciate you, Fiona, and everyone that comes on, and you know, you all have your part. Okay, whether you are participating, whether you are loving and lighting your girl, okay, thank you, okay, and much love and light right back, or someone else on the channel in the chat box, you know, we're all doing this together when we come on to these live streams, and I really appreciate you all for willingly being a participant. Okay, you don't have to be here, and neither do I. Okay, well, technically, I don't. Yeah, I wasn't planning on coming tonight because I didn't feel up to it, and but you know, I'm here, and you know, and I'm grateful and honored to be able to read your cards and to be able to deliver some of these beautiful messages. All right, messages of empowerment, not doom and gloom. Okay, messages of don't give up because in spite of any failure, okay, success is inevitable for you, not even in like its smallest measures and forms. Okay, to be clear, so don't be telling yourself that lie either, right? All right. Ooh, I've not even heard of heated rivalry. Interesting. I'm still playing catch up on Only Murders in the Building. That's one of my guilty pleasures. So, um, but thanks for being on here with your girl. I love you guys. Please, if you've yet to do so, check out a video. All right, the viewership is dropping a bit, but I get it. You know, I'm not able to be on here left and right all the time. But this too shall pass, you guys. Thank you for sticking it out with your girl and for being patient. Okay, I do try to be consistent as often as possible. And thank you for those that do see that and appreciate me for that. And thank you for actually those that do actually come on and click the like and watch the videos. I'm mindful, and I'm taking notes, and I'm definitely sending love light and putting my petitions and prayers out there for you all. Okay, because I do appreciate you and I do love my collective. Hands down, you guys are the best. You're amazing. I need you to always remember that, please. Okay, not even for me, for yourself. Okay. Um, that's cool. I really do look forward to seeing you, Sci Fantasy. And thanks for enjoying the vibe, even if for just a moment. Okay. Much love and light, you guys. Thank you for being amazing, and thank you for not giving up. I do love you. Yeah, love and light.